to beyoungministry.blogspot.com, to another blog, and also welcome to those who are accessing the podcast through the Be Young Ministry YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube page, go to YouTube, type in Be Young, and that's one word, Be Young Ministry, and it will pop up. You can subscribe, and that'll help you out because you'll automatically get the podcast when it's produced, but also it'll help me out as well because the more subscribers, the better. So today we come to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4, which reads, "And fathers, do not drive your children mad, but nurture them in the discipline and teaching that come from the Lord." Ephesians 6:4. That's the voice version of the Bible. I like it. It's a little different, isn't it? Because we're used to reading, "And fathers, do not make your kids angry." Here it, "drive your kids mad." I like that. I like that a lot. Paul addresses fathers in our text for the day. He tells us, do not cross your kids for no good purpose. Show them something great to live for, so that when you cross their will, it's because you're fitting them for some great purpose of God. I love that. That's just another translation that someone's given us. The father must nurture our children. This involves creating a desire within them to want God for themselves. This word nurture comes from the Old Testament practice which the Hebrew midwives would use just as the baby was being birthed. As soon as the child came from the mother, the midwife would dip her finger into a jar of date juice, which was very sweet, and then she would stick her finger in the mouth of the newborn. This would create the desire of the child to suck, for obvious reasons. The father best creates this desire by knowing each of his kids' bents and orientations on life. There's a lot that is involved in the bents and the orientations on life for them, but I'll say you need to know their love languages, you need to know their personality. Of course, order of birth is very crucial in understanding on how to deal with them, because you're going to deal differently. You're going to discipline them differently. So, we need to know our kids well in order to train them. And we don't train them all the same way. As a result, children feel anger toward their father when his rules are petty and trivial, when they don't have anything to do with something of real value. Someone once said, "Rules without relationship breeds rebellion." Parents must be authentic in our faith for our children to be most positioned to adopt our convictions on life. In addition, rules with relationship will breed respect. Treating our children as the people they are, created in the image of God, is of ultimate value. Otherwise, we will not connect in a way that trust will be forged in our relationship with our children. The child who sees that the rules of the home and their consistent enforcement are connected to some great vision of life and some great cause to live for will not harbor resentment toward their parents. They may complain now and then about the toughness of the training, but would die any day with the captain because the cause he stands for is so great. In order for the father's conviction to be adopted by the children, these convictions must be of a life and death matter to the father. I'm not saying that we must be perfect. The kids do not expect us to be, nor will we ever be this side of heaven. What I'm saying is we must be authentic with regard to what we believe. God's word must define us, and when he is gray, we must be gray. What I mean by that, when he's not black and white, when he's not explicit. So when God is explicit, we must be explicit. So for example, do not have sex before marriage. God's pretty clear in His Word on that. That's explicit. But He's implicit with a lot of other things. He implies things. Do not be drunk with wine. So He implies it's okay to drink wine. Of course, the law of the land factors in as well. But we've got to be wise. When God is gray, we got to be gray. When He is black and white, we must be black and white. The authenticity that emanates from this posture will enable the father to connect with his kids better. To be authentic, the father must be given to prayer himself. Prayer is the most important thing any of us do in this world. It is the way we join our hearts with God in His activity in our lives. Our children must see and hear us interact with God naturally. If it is phony, they will know it immediately. We must pour our hearts out in secret to God, who will fashion our hearts to His will. And from this perch, we will be more effective in training our kids in the way they should go. In addition, we must pray in the presence of our children so that they can hear our longings and read our hearts and learn themselves to pray. And we need to pray with our children so that they have a chance to pray in a loving environment. Also, we must raise our children to hope in God for themselves. We must challenge them to make the Bible the most important book in their lives. We must show them the Bible is the most important resource in our lives, and that it contains the answers to life's greatest questions, and that it is the communication of the mind of God to man. I trust these blogs, these podcasts are helpful to you in your walk with the Lord. If I can be of any help to you, shoot me an email at beyoungministry@gmail.com.